morning students. Today I am going to continue the chapter resources. In previous video I explained you about the origin of the natural resources, that it is divided into two parts, that is biotic and abiotic. Abiotic comes from non-living resources such as iron, copper, gold, etc. Biotic resources which comes from living beings, for example animal, birds, forest products, etc. Now today I will explain you the availability and distribution of resources, that is classification of resources on the basis of their availability. On the basis of their availability, it is divided into two parts, that is renewable and non-renewable resources. Now, what is renewable resources? These resources can be replaced or reproduced easily. Resources like sunlight, air and wind are the resources that are continuously available and their quantity is not affected by human consumption. Means if human beings are using all these resources, it is not going to be depleted or it is not going to be finished. So many renewable resources can be depleted by human use, but many resources are there that it can be finished if it is used in excess amount. For example, crops that take a short time for a renewable, but other things that is for the long time, like water, it is for the longer time, while still others like forest take even longer time also to renew it. That's why we are always saying that go for the afforestation, so that if we are using the trees or important medicinal plants, if you will go for reproduction again, then it will not be finished. Now, non-renewable resources. What is non-renewable resources? These resources are formed for a very long geological period. It takes a long time to form. For example, minerals and fossil fuels. The rate of formation is very low. These minerals and fossil fuels, it is also developed, but it takes lots of time. It takes very slow process for formation again. They cannot be replaced once they get depleted. If it is finished very fast, though, it is not possible for us to make it again in a fast manner. However, metallic minerals can be reused by recycling, while coal and petroleum cannot be recycled. Now, classification of resources on the basis of distribution. Again, on the basis of distribution, it is divided into two parts, that is ubiquitous resources and localized resources. Resources which are available everywhere on the earth are called ubiquitous resources. For example, air and water. Air and water on the earth we get every place. So it is the example of ubiquitous resources. Now, what is localized resources? Resources available at select location on the earth are called localized resources. Example, coal. Now, these resources we will not get at every place. At some place we will get. So this is known as the localized resources. For example, coal, climate are the major factors that affect the distribution of natural resources. Now, human-made resources. Human-made resources, when a natural resource undergoes an extreme change by human intervention, it becomes human resource. For an example, iron ore is prepared from steel, and steel is a man-made resource. Building bridges, railways and machines, these are the examples of human-made resources. Technology is also a human-made resource. So, the things which human-made has made, so that is known as the human-made resources. Now, what is human resources? Human resources means people are the human resources. Education and health develop the quality of human resources so that people are fit, they can take education so that they can use all the technology, they can develop new technologies also so that people can use all those resources which we are not using till now. The quality of people's skill to enable them to create more resources is called human resource development. Now, if they are educated, then they can use those resources also which we are not used right now, but in future they can create it. So this is called the human resource development. Now, conserving resource. This is also very important that we should conserve the resources also, because these resources are all natural forms, and if it is finished at a time, then we will not get back again so fast. Resources conservation is planned uses of natural resources to optimize their utility. Whatever the resources is there, we should first plan, we think, then we use that resources so that it is good for everyone and resource is used in a proper way. The use of resource should be carefully and give time to get renewed. Now, whatever the resources we are using, it should be in a very proper manner, in a careful manner, so that in future also we will use all these resources. Balancing and conserving resources for the future is called sustainable development. Now, if we are using all these resources in a proper manner, in a good way, so that we can use all these resources in future, so this is known as the sustainable development. To conserve resources, there are some methods also. First, habitat conservation. It is the practice of preserving the habit of wild animals and birds. Next, energy conservation. It is the practice of decreasing the quantity of energy, that is electricity and fuel, which we use in our daily life. So we should always use the energy conservation. Whenever we are using electricity or any fuel, we should take care that it should not be misuse all these things, because once it depletes, we will not get back. Water conservation. It is practiced to reduce the wastage and use of fresh water. Now, it is also very necessary that we should not waste any fresh water, because if fresh water will not be, then how human beings drink water? If loss of water is day. Soil conservation. It is the prevention of soil being eroded from the earth's surface. So we should care the soil also, because if good soil is not there, how we will do the farming work, how we will do work for any kind of crops. So we should take care of the soils also. Now you have to learn all short question and answers from your